We go to the 40 Contractors Hotline and visit with Nate Burkhalter, who was recently on American Ninja Warrior and had quite a performance out there, and now joins us before he leaves the country to go to, I believe, Uganda. Thanks for taking a moment with us today, Nate.
Hey, good morning, guys. Thanks so much. I'm excited to be part.
Well, tell us a little bit about how this all came about, and is this something you'd always dreamed about competing in?
Yeah, I've been in the sport, if you want to call it a sport, been competing for about 3 years now. This is the first season I've had a pretty strong breakthrough in performance, as you got to see on TV last week. And it's been something that became a dream of mine about 3.5 years ago as I saw the show and just started pursuing that and getting involved in what it looks like to compete, train, and get on the show.
Well, the billing on their website has you as an adventure, health, fitness junkie, difference maker, believer, and globe-trotting engineer. What a title. Is that accurate?
I try to live up to that calling. It's pretty close. It's where do you want to start? I can claim the globe-trotting engineer today. I'm heading off to Uganda, as you said, and I will be in Africa for the next 6 weeks. So
what are you doing? Mission work? Is that correct?
That's correct. So I'll start off for the first 12 days working with an orphanage. I've got some friends in Houston that helped start an orphanage last year in Uganda. So we're pulling some kids out of South Sudan, housing them, giving them education and some shelter, just from a lot of the war-torn zones, and doing that for the first half of my trip. And then I'm jumping over to Equatorial Guinea, which is a small island off the coast of Nigeria. I had to look that up on the map when I was told I was going there.
Well, this conversation came up. We were talking about obscure sporting events that we enjoy watching on TV, and of course, American Ninja Warrior came about. Were you watching it from season one, and knew that this was something that you could do or wanted to be a part of?
Actually, I didn't see it until season 6. A friend of mine that I played a lot of football with, recreational football, he saw it. He and his wife. They sent me a YouTube video of it and said that this is exactly what you've been training for. You just didn't know it yet. And so when I got a hold of that, it was pretty instant that I knew that's what I was called to do. I'll say called because it feels like almost like my purpose as far as athletics. I've got a wide background in that, and this seems to fit the bill with what I was looking for.
It's not as easy as just, hey, I'm going to show up where, LA or wherever this is going down. Hey, I'm going to show up, put me on the show. What's the process of getting on this show, and what kind of things do you have to do from a fitness perspective to show that you can compete at this level?
Yeah, that's a good point, or good statement there. So for people that are interested or just curious in the process, it starts out with an application to NBC and a contracting company that NBC uses. This year there were 80,000 applicants that applied, and they will take about 400 that actually get on the show and get accepted. So you can't try out for this. You have to do an application video, which you showcase your strengths, skill set, usually some type of storyline, because they are in the reality TV space, so they're looking to market that, and then also personality. And if you can break through that lineup, be one of the 400, then you get allocated to a region. And after that, we usually have about 3 weeks of heads up notifying us that we got accepted to the show and that we'll be competing. It's I guess speaking to the training side, most people come in with some form of an athletic background. Myself, I played a lot of sports. There's others that are more in the rock climbing genre. And so you look at whatever your strength is and try to build on that, be it athleticism or coordination, and then you take a weakness. For me, it was kind of in the rock climbing side and start working on that. So I went pretty intense into calisthenics workouts, building my upper body strength. My background is more of tennis football. So I had plenty of agility and strength in that side, but I had to build up the grip strength to be able to hang on in some of those obstacles that will challenge you there.
I see your audition tape here on YouTube. What did you try to sell to them in terms of your hook and why you would be the perfect fit for this program?
Yeah, so this year, compared to years past, I broadened my story a little bit more about the things I'm involved with, the mission work I believe in, that I'm partaking in globally, and then also a church I helped launch here in Houston. And so it's a little bit more about the interaction I have with a lot of different people, kind of that global traveler, and how I'm a full-time engineer working for an oil and gas company, but still finding time to train for this and participate in a lot of other things going on in life and in my job. So I wanted the message to be that not everyone on this show is a personal trainer who trains full-time as an athlete. You know, I don't have the luxury of a lot of free time, but I'm able to make some of these things work even when I'm overseas. And so I kind of wanted that message to be an encouragement to others to say that if you've got a family, if you've got a lot going on in your life, if you're busy with your career, you can still find time to get in shape and even pursue a dream like this, which for me has been incredible the way that it's shaped and developed.
All right, so you get the call, and it's showtime, and, of course, it's time to perform. Do you get a look or a layout of the course and knowing what you're going to face, and what kind of jitters and butterflies do you have once you know that this is my one shot, and, of course, you only get one run at it?
Yeah, you said it. You only get one shot, so it's do or die, and you do get to walk through the course. You don't touch it, but we get to walk through, and they will, about an hour before our run, the producers will walk us in front of each obstacle, describe what is legal or a way that we can progress through this obstacle and what would disqualify us, and then they'll give us one viewing of a tester that will run through it. And so you kind of develop a strategy in your mind of how you can try to take down this obstacle, and then it all comes down after that of working out your plan and trying to view a few of the other competitors. So if you're one of the lucky ones that gets to run later in the night, and this is all filmed at night, by the way, it's from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m., so, you know, unlike most athletic competitions, it may be at 7 p.m. when you're in your prime or somewhere in the afternoon. My run actually occurred at 2 a.m. in the morning.
Really?
So it's you're fighting a little bit of this, you know, wanting to fall asleep, but then you're still pretty amped up and nervous. So when you're getting on that starting block and they call your name, it's a wave of emotions, of adrenaline, and then also trying to steady yourself so that you're not so amped up you trip and fall on the first obstacle, which happens often. We've seen many people go down, many strong athletes go down on something that would, you know, be really embarrassing. But that's part of the sport. So it's all about calming yourself, channeling that energy into the course, and seeing what you can do.
Nate Burkhalter joins us on the 4D Contractors Hotline recently on American Ninja Warrior. I'm not as familiar with the show, and I did not watch it. I saw the videos and the clips on Facebook and other social media of you, so I'm not very familiar with the show. Do you move on to another round? Has that already happened? I know you probably can't give away any spoilers on that, but what's the future for you in this show?
Yeah, it's a developing show. The past 2 seasons, it's grown tremendously, so it's becoming a little more well-known, but, you know, it's not something I've seen until recently. But the way that it progresses is you have a regional qualifier. Although you can't qualify to get there, you get accepted to the show. What you watched was my first round, which I was one of the 30 out of 120 competitors to advance. And so now I've moved on to the regional finals. That's already filmed, but it won't air until somewhere around the 1st of August. And if I make it through that round, I will advance to the Las Vegas National Finals, which is where myself and other competitors from around the U.S. will compete for the $1 million prize. I can't comment yet on how far I've made it, other than what is shown on TV. So you have to watch and see in the next round to see if I advance.
All right, here's the loaded question. So we put let's say Steph Curry and Drew Brees through one of these courses. What are the odds of them actually being able to complete a course?
Ooh. Well, the show does love to pull in athletes from different, I guess we've had a few NFL athletes, NBA athletes, basketball players. They love to show that this is actually pretty hard, and it's really tough if you've never been involved in obstacle training. So far, I think there's 10 professional athletes that have attempted the course, and none of them have made it past the 3rd obstacle.
But there was an Indy driver and a NASCAR driver, so that's questionable whether or not they're athletes, right?
Yeah, I wouldn't put those guys in that category. But they had a couple of NBA players, a wide receiver last year. I forget which team he was playing with. But yeah, we're behind the scenes with a few professional athletes every year, and we never know it because we're all kind of in our mind, getting our mind right, warming up, not talking. But then later on, you see it air, and you realize, oh, that guy's a professional NBA player. But I say, Drew, he's got a good shot at getting through. I mean, you got to have good, well-rounded athleticism. And so they have the strength. They may be lacking in the grip side, but so far we're 10 for 10 with no one making it through the first round. So I wouldn't put any bold predictions out there, but I'd like to see both of those guys give it a shot.
You get a T-shirt that you get to wear around that says American Ninja Warrior?
I do. The show's given us a few of those.
Wow.
It's been pretty fun. It's something that kids love, and it kind of inspires them to get in shape and, you know, get a little more aggressive on the playground when they're climbing around on those monkey bars. So it draws that attention, that's for sure.
It's just amazing. I mean, you can't replicate some of the things you're doing on there. I mean, how do you, like the training regimen, or you just kind of wing it and just say, I feel confident in my abilities, I'm going to roll through this thing? Do you get to watch the other people perform before you, maybe get some pointers that way?
Yeah, absolutely. The best thing you can do is try to train on some type of obstacle course. You know, there's these Tough Mudders and Spartan races, even some CrossFit type workouts that have become popular. So you try to cross-train as best as possible, and then, as you mentioned, just go in with confidence, be excited about it, and it depends on where you fall in the lineup of whether or not you can watch other athletes move through the course. For the past 2 years, I've been one of the first people on the course, which is it's a big disadvantage because you have no idea how to advance through a new obstacle. But it is earlier in the night, so you're fresher. But if you're lucky enough to be later in the lineup, which this year I was about halfway through, then you can peek around from the holding bin that they have us off to the side of the course, and you can try to see some of the athletes as they progress through or as they fail, and then pick up tips of what to do or what not to do. And it's good and bad, because sometimes you'll see a really strong athlete that you believe is better than you, and if you see them go down somewhere, it can hamper your confidence. So you have to take everything with a grain of salt, kind of watch, develop a strategy, and then move away and stop watching. Just get your game plan in your mind. At least that's how I've been successful with it.
Nate, congratulations, and of course we'll be watching to see how this thing plays out, but congratulations on being an American Ninja Warrior, and safe travels out there, bud.
Yeah, much appreciated. Good to talk to you, and y'all have a great day.
You bet.